Welcome to my channel. I'm Robert Avila, a digital marketer with over 18 years experience. And today I'm going to share with you one of the most surprising experiences that I had working in a large scale e-commerce company. I was working at a company that was in the retail space, clothes and shoes, and just a really unique culture. We had just the most amazing, brilliant people that worked there. We had a lot of fun. We had a lot of tours, a lot of guests visited to learn about the company culture and see how they could take that and share that with their team members and grow their companies. And what was cool about it, there were a lot of tours that came through. We would see a lot of different corporate leaders. There'd be a lot of entrepreneurs. There'd be a lot of celebrities and entertainers. So it was a really interesting mix of who would just pass through the office while you're at your desk working. There's one particular time that we had just several online entrepreneurs all passing through at the same time, basically. I didn't realize there was a Tony Robbins event. Was able to meet Tony Robbins, shook his hand. His hand is just massive, just super high energy. There were also a lot of entrepreneurs that were attending his event. I think it was a business mastery summit, but I remember meeting Joe Polish. Mike Koenigs had passed through. I'd met the founders of PPC Classroom, Anik and Amit. This is back 18 years ago, so you may or may not know some of these names. There was also Cameron Johnson. Now, he was at that time would have been in his 20s, but I remember hearing stories where he had stayed at the suite from Home Alone out in New York and shared that experience, how he wrote a letter and he was able to stay in that exact suite. But really cool entrepreneurs that came through there. And I know with that PPC Classroom, phenomenal. They had a monthly membership. It might have been like $30 at the time, but just a ton of case studies, ton of data on driving paid Google Ads traffic to affiliate offers. And it was, these were all of the people that I either purchased their courses or consumed their content. Now, I know you may not know some of these names, or maybe none of these names. Or some of you might. If you've been in online marketing 18, 20 years plus like I have, they will definitely ring a bell. Now, to put this in perspective, this would be like having Alex Hermosi and Russell Brunson passing through the office on a tour. But the shocking thing is, no one in my marketing team or leadership knew who any of those big names were. Joe Polish, Mike Koenigs. Of course, everybody knew Tony Robbins, but nobody knew who these names were. I actually had somebody in leadership ask me while they were passing through who everybody was. And I just couldn't comprehend being in that space, being in the top of the industry, not knowing who these leaders were. But it was later that I realized, and here's the lesson here, is who is your audience? All of those guests that passed through, those are entrepreneurs in the online marketing space and affiliate marketers. Where I was working in the corporate marketing space, e-commerce, managing over 1,000 brands on the site. So it was a whole different audience. And I found that though there was some overlap, for the most part, they were pretty much separate. A lot of the conferences and things I attend on the entrepreneurial space, nobody was aware of in the corporate e-marketing space, e-commerce space. But then kind of the same thing. I think some of these big conferences I had never heard of when I was in that whole entrepreneurial space, affiliate marketing. But you do see some overlap over time. But it was just different audiences. So that's something that's important to know, is know your audience, who you're speaking with. And then I also thought too of, well, how do I know who all these people are? And everybody in the corporate space didn't. And it's just whatever your interests are in. I have a big interest in entrepreneurship and affiliate marketing, as well as the big e-commerce space. So that's how I knew about this. I knew about that before I even got into the corporate space in the marketing world. What was interesting, though, even over those past 18 years, there was only maybe two people I could think of that were aware of the entrepreneurs. So they would know Frank Kern. They would know even way back Yannick Silver, and things like that. But for the most part, outside of those two people, in 18 years, nobody that I knew in the corporate space was aware of some of the names. And even recently, I don't think anybody would know Alex Hermosi or Russell Brunson. I mean, I've never had those conversations, and I think it just comes back to that different audience. And the other piece is there's so many marketers out there now. There's no way you're going to know all the names. Back then, it was a lot easier to keep track, and now there are so many talented young entrepreneurs in the e-commerce space. Now that we have Shopify, we have all these different platforms that weren't in existence back then. TikTok Shop, all of these different avenues, and there's so many people that are experts in their field. And what it blows me away, I got a late start. I didn't get into the e-commerce digital marketing space until my early 30s, and now there are people that are really successful in their early 20s because they started in their teens jumping online. So keep that in mind, who your audience is, keeping the message on point. But I wanted to share that. I thought that was something that I always think back to, that story, seeing all those amazing people pass through the office. And I think I was the only one pumped up and excited because these were all of my heroes that I got to see working in the corporate marketing, digital marketing space for e-commerce. Anyways, hope you enjoyed that story. Focus on your audience. Have an amazing day, and we'll talk soon. Thanks.